Test, test, test. You never know if this is working. It's such a weird thing. So I'm gonna give it a second. I'll just keep talking smack until somebody shows up and tells me that it does sound okay. And then we can get it started. But so far so good. It looks all right. It's funny how you can set your stream up the exact same way that you did the previous time that you were online, and then everything just looks different. Like, I don't know. Ah, perfect. Thank you, Galen. Yeah, like I set this up. What day was that? Sunday? I think today's Tuesday. I don't even know what day it is. Today's Monday. Sorry. So I set it up Saturday evening, the exact same way that I have it set up right now. And then I go to like check my camera settings today, and then everything's just different. I had to change the white balance from Saturday's setting to a whole different setting just to get the colors to look somewhat right. Like it's weird how stuff just changes like that. Which is also why I don't want to be streaming from a webcam anymore. But whatever, as long as it works, we're good. And the other thing was with the last stream, I rewatched the whole thing, so a whole hour and 30 minutes. And I felt like the one thing it was missing was just some background music. But then it's so hard to find non-copyrighted stuff that what I had to go with probably isn't the greatest, but it's better than nothing. Let me see if I still got it queued up. So hopefully that's coming through soft enough. But I mean, it's better than nothing. It just sounded so weird having all that dead air. But yeah, so far so good. Hopefully this is actually non-copyright music and doesn't end up messing up the monetization on my channel. Because you know how YouTube is with that. So I don't know how this works usually. It's only my second time going at it, but I figure we'll wait till the 10-minute mark. Give YouTube a chance to throw my link around the place and get a couple impressions or so. Epidemic sounds. I hear about epidemic sounds all the time, and I've actually never looked into it. So while I'm waiting, that's actually what we're gonna do. Where are you from, Galen? I'm assuming American. Epidemic sound. Royalty-free music. How much is this? You get a 30-day free trial, cancel anytime, but it doesn't tell you what the price is on the front page. Hold on, let me do this. Oh, I forgot to put my camera on this side. 1 second. Sorry, give me 1 sec. I totally deleted it from this scene. There we go. Put that up there. All right, perfect. So yeah, it doesn't say anywhere what the actual price is. So that kind of worries me. Because if it's something like, oh, there it is. $15 US per month. Yeah, that's kind of steep. 15 USD per month. Bro, that's like $50 Canadian. We can't afford that in Canada. Come on now. 15 USD per month. I'm gonna do the trial for sure. They're from St. Louis. Nice. Never been. 30 days. Oh, look at that. Peter McKinnon says it's good. So you know it's dope. He's Canadian, but I guess he probably doesn't have to pay for it. Oh, that'd be nice. 144 for the year. Let's see. 144 USD to Canadian. It's like 2 something. 176. It's not too bad. 176.78. It's not terrible. But that's still a lot of money. Considering none of my YouTube videos actually have music in them, so that's expensive. They'll be taxing. Canadian dollar is not good at all. So is it one of the ones where you sign up for it and then you got to still put in your credit card info? That way, if you forget to cancel, they just charge you right away. Because I got hit with, was it Squarespace? No, not Squarespace. Not Squarespace. Skillshare. Skillshare caught me with that. I got Skillshare. I thought I was gonna learn how to code. I did like one class the first day that I got the trial, and then I put it in my calendar to get rid of it. Forgot, obviously. And then they didn't even wait. Like, they had it down to the second. So yeah, this is what we're using. This is my bootleg version of Epidemic Sound. Just some random background music that says non-copyright. And I hope that it's right. And I hope that it's right. But yeah, so today what we're doing is we're talking about Apple's new paywall structure. So, and I forgot to put the box out for the iPhone 12 Pro. But Apple's new paywall structure has people upset. Very upset. For me, it didn't really matter because, you know, I prefer the 12.9 inch iPad anyways. But when it came to like the choice between the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max, that's where it kind of irks me a little bit. So if you don't know what a paywall is, I feel like it's more so on the Android Play Store is the easiest way to explain it. So any Android users out there who have used or accessed anything from the Google Play Store, you find an app, you think the app is going to be sick, you download it, and then you notice that when you go into the settings, 75% of the features that you downloaded the app for, it's a free app by the way, 75% of the features that you downloaded the app for, you can't use unless you buy the Pro version or the premium version, right? So it's hidden behind a paywall. You got to pay extra money in order to get to the other side of that app and start using those luxury features. So if you weren't aware, and I think everybody should be at this point, with the iPhone 12, this guy here, so the iPhone 12, the iPhone 12 Pro, and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So this is the 12 Pro. Obviously it's got the 3 lenses on the back, and based on last year, if you bought the 12 Pro or the 12 Pro Max, you got the exact same camera setup and exact same camera capabilities, no matter which one you bought. So if you bought the big one or the regular size one. This year, however, and I think it's the first time that Apple's done this, because I can't think back to a time when they've gone with this structure, but this year, and I think there's a lot of that stuff that goes into it, but we'll talk about that later. This year they said, if you want the best of the best, we're only putting our best camera module essentially in the 12 Pro Max version. So that one's gonna be able to take better pictures. It's gonna have, instead of just the digital image stabilization, it has the in-body, the IBIS, I believe, camera module similar to the new Samsungs. But if you just have a regular Pro like mine, then you don't get those features. And it's like, if I'm buying a Pro phone and I'm already shelling out the extra money for the Pro versus the regular 12, you would think that I should get all of the features. Like, nobody wants to have, is it like 6.8 inches or 6.9 inch brick in their pocket? The iPhone 12 Pro Max is huge and super heavy, right? So just because you don't want to have this huge phone in your pocket, Apple's forcing you not to have the best of the best, even though you're still dropping pro money. So I thought that it would stop there. We all kind of thought it would stop there. And they announced the iPad 12, the iPad 2021, iPad Pro, which comes in two sizes again. So you have the 11-inch iPad, I think it's 11.3 inches, the screen, and you have the larger one, which is a 12.9-inch iPad. Now, everyone's again upset because it's been teased for years that the new iPads are going to have a mini LED screen. So you're going to be able to have way better contrast. Everything's going to look apparently better on the screen. 1600 nits of brightness. So it's going to be able to get brighter than the iPads of old. So if you're using it outside, for example, at the beach, whatever, you'll be able to see your screen easily. So everybody was happy, looking forward to Apple's announcement. I think that was last week or 2 weeks ago. No, it was longer than that. It was like 3 weeks ago. And then they said only the 12.9-inch iPad Pro is actually going to be the one that has the mini LED. So again, now you have these features hidden behind a paywall where, you know, what if I don't want to have an iPad that's that big? A lot of people complain. And when they see my iPad for the first time, this guy right here, they say that this is massive and way too much iPad for anybody to use comfortably. Now, me personally, I don't mind this size. So when they said, you know, the mini LED is only going to be on the 12.9-inch version, I didn't really care because I knew that that's what I was going to spring for anyways. But a lot of people don't like that size for whatever reason, which, you know, like I said, doesn't matter to me, but it's kind of frustrating, I think, for the average consumer to think that I've got to shell out now not only extra money to get the pro version of the iPad, but then I also have to spring for the larger size that I didn't even want in the first place, just to be able to experience this mini LED screen. And there's no reason why they can't fit that same technology into a smaller iPad. I would assume anyways, I'm no engineer, but I would assume that it's the exact same process. They're just choosing to, you know, force everybody into paying that extra tax in order to buy the expensive unit that they want you to buy. I hate that I bought the 12.9-inch 2020 model a few months ago. Oh, so you didn't get it right when it dropped. I mean, it's not so bad because I find they hold their value pretty well. Any Apple product versus the Samsung products, like even the Samsung Galaxy tabs, which are really good tablets, the Apple just holds its value so much better because of the name. And whenever a new product drops, there are a ton of people that are just waiting to buy, last year's model. So I think you'd easily be able to get, well, obviously higher than Apple's trade-in value, because Apple's trade-in value is no good. But you'll be able to get, you know, maybe $200 less than the cost of the new one. I hear you. If that was me, I'd be in the same boat, but I'm so quick to sell stuff in order to buy the newer thing and like take the $100 hit or whatever it is because of how bad trade-ins are. Like, luckily I got my iPad Pro last year in May or June. So I've been using mine for a good year. And it's like, even though the new one is coming out with the mini LED and all that, part of me doesn't even want to upgrade, because sure, the new one has the M1 chip, but it's like, how much better, how much faster could it really be? Because this thing is already a beast. I've never seen anything encode video so quickly. Like, how much better could it really get? And I've never even had a situation where the brightness wasn't enough. I've used this outside tons of times, and there's never been a single time where I wish that the screen could be brighter, which might be because of the whole contrast issue. So Maybe the mini LED will fix that. I don't know. I'm interested to see how that ends up working out. But that was why when I'm outside, I usually turn the brightness down because I want a higher contrast. So I hope, that's my biggest hope, because I do watch a lot of content on my iPad, is I hope that with the 2021 being mini LED, the blacks are like deep black, very, very high contrast, no matter how high I set the brightness, because 1600 nits is very bright. 1600 nits is extremely bright. I don't know how they're going to compensate for that. But yeah, I saw you said you're interested, or you would be interested in jumping on a stream. I'm gonna have to build it up. I mean, the last one was pretty decent. I think we maxed out at like 14 or 15 concurrent viewers. Today, I already knew today was gonna be a struggle. It's a Monday evening. What's the price point for the new iPad? The iPad Pro? Jeez. So I'll show you in American. Because they're, so $799 is for the small one. In Canada, it's $999 if I'm not mistaken. For the size that I have, this guy here is $1099. So it's expensive, but depending on what you use it for, it makes it worth it. Like, I can run my whole YouTube channel off just my iPad. I don't need my PC anymore. I don't need my Mac anymore. I kind of just have my MacBook Air because of the built-in keyboard, and I didn't want to buy, it sounds stupid, I didn't want to buy a Magic Keyboard folio case for $400 when I could just have a whole separate MacBook. And it gets a lot of use, both of them do, because my wife's constantly on the MacBook Air and I'm constantly on the iPad anyway, so we get a lot of use out of it. But they are pretty expensive, and you can only do these payment plans in the States. You can't do these in Canada. $91 a month. That's kind of crazy that they even have that option. I think, isn't there that option on the AirTag too, which is kind of ridiculous? Hold on, let me. If the AirTag has a payment plan, I'm gonna lose it. Okay, it doesn't. They'll be like, oh, pay us $3 a month for an AirTag. That's the other thing. I haven't even looked or considered buying an AirTag. I can't find a use for it, and they're stupid expensive. But yeah, on the Canadian site, I think everything's just marked up by $200. Yeah, so you have the iPad Pro 11-inch is $999, and then the 12.9 is $1399. So that's what I was saying, is luckily these hold their value so much that I'll be able to sell my model from last year for at least $1,100. But chances are, like, the mini LED won't even be anything that special, so I don't know that I'll keep it, and I'll probably just end up returning it within the 14 days or whatever if it doesn't make that much of a difference. Because, as I said, the difference between the M1 chip on the inside and the A14, what the hell's in last year's? A14 Bionic? E14X? Whatever it is. The difference is going to be so negligible. And you're going to see like Max Tech and all those guys do benchmark tests and say how much faster this year's one is. But there's no competition. It doesn't even matter how much faster they are. I'm getting just Wi-Fi. I don't travel enough to justify going for the 12.9. Hold on. The 12.9 with the Wi-Fi plus cellular for the extra $200. It just doesn't make sense to me. It would be cool in certain situations, But I'm happy with just Wi-Fi. And if I ever need to use it on the go, I just make a hotspot with my phone. Over 1,000 either way is steep. I guess I'll wait for Boxing Day. That's the thing. Boxing Day, the price won't go down. Like, I saw an advertisement this morning actually, where it's like deep discounts on the AirPods Max, $17 off. Apple's stupid when it comes to that stuff. So yeah, going back to the features that are hidden behind this paywall, I'll do it from, type in iPad.com, apple.com. I'll do it from the actual Apple website, or sorry, .com instead of .ca, because you guys get the best of the best. Oh, you have the cellular version and have used it on mobile data like twice. Yeah. I feel like I'd be the exact same. Like, I just wouldn't have enough use for it. And then especially with COVID and stuff. I don't know what it's like in St. Louis, but in Ontario and Canada, excuse me, sorry. In Canada right now, everything's locked down. I think our lockdown goes till the end of the month too. So there isn't even anywhere to go where I would take my iPad out and need to use it in public. Like, we can't eat in anywhere. We can't do anything. Everything's shut. And then places like Walmart are open, but all the non-essential areas are cordoned off. So you can't even, like, I just saw a post on Instagram. You can buy food, but you can't buy like frying pans and stuff because it's non-essential. So we don't have anywhere to go that we would ever need cellular data on our Wi-Fi, or on our iPad, sorry. Yeah, you guys are, not to be political, but you guys are doing it right, I think. I don't know what we're doing over here. But yeah, so looking at the iPad, the 12.9 inch, no, sorry, just the iPad Pro features in general, not the 12.9, or is it? It is the 12.9. I just want to see the iPad Pro. I guess I gotta, whatever, it probably doesn't curate what comes here based on what you choose anyways. So all these features are going to be the exact same, right? With the new ones, you're going to get that Thunderbolt port, which maybe that might be a reason why I would like to get rid of my 2020. I do a lot of data transfer from a mini SSD external hard drive because I'm too cheap to buy an iPad with upgraded storage, so I usually just buy the 128. I did order the 256 for this year only because that was the one that shipped the soonest. So I know that, say I do get it, it's all well and good, the mini LED is worth it. I already know that I'm going to send it back and reorder a 128 because it's cheaper. Like, that's just how I roll. I'm a base model bandit. So the Thunderbolt port would be nice because when I'm transferring videos back and forth from my iPad to the external, I save all of my videos. For whatever reason, I rarely go back, but I do keep every single video that I upload to YouTube on that external. I mean, that'll make it a little bit faster. They need to fix the damn OS so that you actually see a progress bar when you're moving files anyways, but that's for another day. I don't have a Magic Keyboard, no. I can't justify the price. The price in American is bad enough. I think in Canada, the price for the Magic Keyboard for the 12.9 is like $415 or something silly like that. So it just doesn't even make sense. And then I go every week, I think about maybe I should just order it. Maybe I should just order it. But then I'm like, whenever I do need to type something, I just grab my MacBook Air or come to my PC. Like, I've got a PC, a MacBook Air, and an iPad. So there's always an option when it comes to typing. I would like to try the Magic Keyboard though and see if it's actually worth it. Oh, here we go. So the 11-inch has the Liquid Retina display, delivers an immersive viewing experience. The 12.9-inch Liquid Retina XDR display offers an even more expansive view and a stunning HDR experience. So this right here is what has everybody upset, is if you're able to put it on the 12.9 inch and they have all the same hardware essentially except for the screen, why do you need to make that difference to say that one screen is going to be better than the other? Like, is it that they're going to change the naming structure now, so you have the 11-inch iPad Pro and then you have the 12.9 inch iPad Pro? Like, why is the bigger one going to be that much better? And that's what's most upsetting about that, is the fact that when you're using an iPad, it's all screen. Like, that's all that you're looking at. That's all that you care about is the screen. So the biggest feature, the most used feature of this entire device is only going to be good on the larger one, but like the big size isn't for everybody. Major selling points for me is the potential for desktop apps with M1 and then using Thunderbolt for my external monitors. Oh yeah, that'd be dope with the external monitors. I didn't even think about that. I hate how iPads only mirrors on display currently. Yeah, so the M1 chip, I'm hoping that if at this very point in time, my M1 MacBook Air is obviously able to run Final Cut and Logic Pro and all of those apps that people love to use on a Mac, there's no reason why they can't now bring it down to, man, I keep burping, sorry. There's no reason why they can't now bring it down to the iPad. I wonder though, that would have a whole bunch of issues on its own, because if they do that, that's going to cancel out a lot of their products, right? Like, I feel like that would almost make the MacBook Air obsolete. I know everybody wants them to get rid of iPadOS and use the same OS on the iPads as they have on Macs, so just go to macOS. But like I said, the iPad's so powerful that I feel like it's going to cancel out the MacBook Air. So I don't know. I don't think they can. They just got to make the app run on iPadOS. So you have to keep iPadOS, as much as people don't like it. I mean, I'm partial to it. I really don't have any issues with it, but you've got to keep iPadOS now, because the iPad is so far ahead of any other tablet on the market that there's no point in ever scrapping it, right? Like, very few people go out and buy a Samsung Galaxy Tab or an Acer tablet or any Android tablet, really. Like, the iPad just worlds ahead of everybody, so you might as well keep owning that market, but then just bring down iPadOS versions of your most popular apps, and I think everybody would be happy. LumaFusion is great, don't get me wrong. And then especially with LumaFusion's new features, so the audio sync and being able to have, like, I think they sync up to, I want to say 12 cameras or something crazy like that now. So they're getting there, but everybody would be happy to see FCPX just ready to go on an iPad. And yeah, I said Acer tablet because I remember a student of mine bringing an Acer tablet into the class. And I don't know, man. Not to chirp a kid that had an Acer tablet for having an Acer tablet, but it was no bueno. That thing was so slow. So slow. Or like thinking back to the Nexus tablet back in the day. I didn't laugh at them. I personally didn't. Others did, but not me. At the time, I didn't even have a tablet, so I couldn't say anything. I didn't even have a tablet at the time. Let me quickly jump over to the keyboard. Where is it? Oh, here we go. All right. Magic Keyboard. So this thing's obviously crazy. It's $299 for the small one in the US. And for the large one, it's $349. Holy smokes. So let's go to apple.ca and look at how terrible these prices are. Acer laptops are fine. It's just the damn Acer tablets. You want to stay away from those. All right. So here's why I don't own a Magic Keyboard. As much as that white one looks good, and everyone knows that one. First of all, the black Magic Keyboard gets filthy. So good luck to anyone that buys the white one. All right. So for the 11-inch Magic Keyboard in Canada, $399. And for the one that would fit my iPad. Yo, what up, John? Welcome back, bro. JG. So the 12.9 is $450 Canadian for a keyboard. So that's a no-brainer for me. But sorry, I got this candy in my mouth. It looks dope. Excuse me. It looks dope, but you'll never ever want to put this on the table. You'll never ever want to put it in a backpack. Like, this thing's gonna be brown within a week. It's terrible. The Logitech Folio is apparently really good. I gotta look that up. I had a Logitech, what was it called? Oh no, it wasn't Logitech. I'm thinking of the Lenovo Yoga. Yeah, we do have the education discounts, but the education discounts only work on iPads and Macs, if I'm not mistaken. So I can get around the paywall that way a little bit. Actually, that just you just reminded me. I didn't use it. Oh man. Oh man. I could have saved. Oh boy. Whatever. I know I'm gonna reorder it, so it's fine. I'll use my education discount on the actual one that I'm gonna keep. Damn, I totally forgot about that. I'm actually cheesed. I'm actually cheesed. So yeah. I was looking at the Galaxy Tab S7 and still shook over its $1,000 Canadian. The Galaxy Tabs are good though. But the thing with those, like, you could still grab a Galaxy Tab S3 and you're good to go. Like, they did a good job with that. The Galaxy Tab line. After the S3 or S4, Galaxy Tab S3 or S4, it was like, what's the point of even upgrading anymore? They're all the damn same. Do they? Me and Apple are already in a fight. I talked about it last stream with this phone. This phone, I'm trying to return it, but because everything went on lockdown, I want to return it and keep using my mini. But because everything's on lockdown, I can't actually get to an Apple store to do the return. And then in the Apple store, they told me, because I had a feeling we were going back on lockdown. They said, look, if you guys go on lockdown, can I return this phone by shipping it to you? And they're like, yeah, you just call and they'll give you the shipping label and blah, blah, blah. So then when I called to do that, they're like, no, we don't do that. If you bought it in store, it has to be returned in store. So it's way past the 14 days now. And when I asked the lady on the phone, she goes, yeah, just as long as, you you keep it in good shape until the end of your lockdown, then you're fine. I'm like, yo, what if I drop my phone tomorrow? Or I was told it's at the behest of, what do they call the Apple people? At the behest of the Apple employee that's like dealing with you on the floor. So they get to use their discretion. They could be like, oh, I don't like how there's like a smudge here or whatever. And no, we're not gonna refund it, right? So that just puts way too much pressure on me. And I'm a minimalist. I got this minimalist case. I have the later case on it, which as much as people hate on Lou Later and Unbox Therapy and the fact that he's Canadian and charges USD for his damn product, and the fact that this ships 30 minutes from my house, but I have to pay for shipping. And they force you to pay for the expedited shipping coming 30 minutes from my house, like I said. Or maybe it's me that just hates on him, I don't know, but whatever. What was I saying? This is a very nice case, very thin. It actually feels like you don't have a case on the phone at all. It doesn't add any bulk to it. It just adds more grip. So for me, I'm worried that when and if I drop this, it's pretty much a Pataki case, yeah. Like yeah, it is. But cheaper. It's cheaper. Pataka's cases, maybe just in Canada, are more expensive. They're like $70 something. But this case, for this little tiny piece of whatever this is, was still mad expensive. I think it was like $45 with the discount code that he gives you or whatever. So if I drop my phone, or I shouldn't even call it my phone, if I drop their phone, because this is going back to them once Canada allows me, then I'm gonna be in some trouble. But I like the iPhone 12 mini too much. The Pro's cool and all, but the telephoto lens, like, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't care much for it. Which again, Apple's paywall. What really is the difference between this camera and the one that you get with the 12 Pro Max? That's apparently supposed to be so much better because it has the IBIS, in-body image stabilization. Is it really that much better? I've only watched YouTube videos on the comparison, and I played with a Pro Max in the store, so I shouldn't speak on it, but I didn't really see any differences at all. But that's just me. I ordered a 256 gig iPad Pro 12.9 M1 4 days ago, and Apple still haven't charged my card. Yeah, they're not going to charge you. They won't charge you, Trent, until the end of May. So that's how they do it. I know other companies charge you kind of right away. What Apple does, if I'm not mistaken, is once you submit the order, they check that your card actually has the space for it, has that money available, but then they won't actually send the charge through until it goes from processing on the website to, or you know what I mean? There's like on the bar, there's 4 different progress points. So like order received, and then processing, shipped, and then whatever. So not until the processing stage, which won't happen until late May, is when they'll actually ding your card. If the battery life on the Mini was a tad bit better, I'd have the Mini. Oh, absolutely. If they just use MagSafe and put a flippin' MagSafe charger on the back that you could just throw on the Mini for a little bit, like, it's a solid phone. Where is it? Let me just grab it real quick. I had it last stream too, but whatever. I know we're supposed to be talking about the iPad and iPhone paywall, but this counts. So I have pretty big hands. This is the Pro here, and this is the Mini. I have pretty big hands. Let me turn this way. I can comfortably reach all the corners of the phone for the most part with just my thumb and how big my hand is. But when it comes to the Mini, like, it's undefeated. It's the perfect size. And when I go for runs and stuff, I can put it in my pocket and it actually fits. Or I have shorts that have like a liner on the inside and a cell phone pocket that's about this big on the spandex part of the liner, and the Mini fits in there perfectly. It doesn't move when I run. Like, I don't know how people hate on this phone and the size of this phone, and say they need a bigger screen and whatever, like use this for a day and you're gonna adjust to it, and then you're gonna wonder why the hell cell phones are so big, and you're gonna wonder why the hell cell phones became so large when this is like the perfect size in terms of just overall efficiency, usability, pocketability, any other words that end in ability. The Pro's cool and all, but like I said, the telephoto lens, like the difference between these two in terms of taking photos and whatnot, negligible. I still use this for my B-roll more than I use the Pro, because you will never tell the difference. And this is just easier to fit in my Manfrotto holder. Like, can't go wrong. The whole paywall structure is just, I'm bringing it all back. The whole paywall structure is just stupid to me. This takes photos that are just as good as the 12 Pro Max, and obviously then as good as the Pro as well. Video, same thing. The stabilization is already unmatched when it comes to iPhone video. So why is there a paywall to say, oh, you're not going to get the best module unless you buy the Pro Max? Jimmy Hoffa, what's the issue with the new iPad? I was thinking of pre-ordering through Verizon this week. So there's no issue with it. It just depends on the size that you order. So if you have a preference for the smaller iPad Pro, then you're better off just buying a 2020 or a 2018. That's the real problem. So if you're buying the iPad and you're not creating content, you're just buying it to, watch content on, to scroll the web, to do like regular iPad things, then you're fine just getting a 2018 or a 2020. The new iPad, yes, it has the Thunderbolt port, but the screen on the new one, the 12.9 inch, is the one that has the mini LED XDR display. The regular size one, the 11.3 inch one, doesn't have any of that. So it's like with the 2021, if you're not buying the 12.9, then you might as well just buy the 2020. That's the inherent issue with this new structure that Apple has created with this whole paywall thing. Oh, you want the 12.9? Then you're fine. Buy the 12.9. Any storage capacity doesn't really matter. Like, you're getting the best of the best. It's just some people want the best screen without having to buy the biggest screen. I don't know how thin they can make a battery case for the Mini though. That's the thing. Like, I see who's it? Michael Thomas from the Saints is always posting videos with, or pictures that he takes with he's using like an iPhone X or something, and he has one of those battery cases, and it looks pretty slim, but at the same time it just looks big enough that it would be annoying to use, right? Because it comes out a little bit at the back. So I don't know. Galaxy Tab S7, 12 inches of bees. I just play Xbox games on all day. Like original Xbox, like an emulator. The paywall. Oh, I guess I should have explained that. My bad, Jimmy. So I was saying, like, the paywall, the whole idea behind the paywall is like, if you've ever used an Android app, or even if you've ever looked at any of my previous videos about how you can use the AirPods Pro with an Android phone and all the third-party apps, every single app that I went into had a section that was completely blocked off of all the features that you actually download the app for. So to be able to switch between, noise canceling mode and ambient sound mode, for example, to be able to turn on and off the auto ear detection feature. Like, you download the app for free and then it says, oh, but pay us $4.99 if you want to be able to use all the good stuff, right? So the paywall that Apple has in place now, that they've done with their last two drops, so the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the iPad Pros, is you can buy the 12 Pro, but you're not going to get the best camera module unless you buy the 12 Pro Max. So we want you to buy the biggest, most expensive Pro, even though like a Pro is a Pro is a Pro. It should all be the same. But no, you got to buy the big one that's more cumbersome, that you don't actually want, but you want it because it has all the best features in it. With the iPads, it's the same idea. So you can buy the 11-inch iPad Pro for 2021. And yeah, you're going to get your M1 chip. You're going to get your Thunderbolt port. You're going to have that 5G connectivity. But you're not going to have an XDR display unless you buy the 12.9 inch, which is what, like $300 more expensive, a much bigger screen, which not everybody wants. And then you can get your XDR display. So it's hidden behind a paywall. They're both pros. They're both the exact same device. They look the exact same form factor, same bezels, same everything. But we want you to buy the bigger, more expensive one in order to get the mini LED XDR display that we've been teasing for the last 2 years. Game Pass. Okay, I haven't had an Xbox since the 360. So I didn't know that they had all that fancy stuff going on now. Didn't know they had all that fancy stuff going on now. So it looks like we are at, apparently, is it 8 concurrent or 11 concurrent? This is giving me 2 different numbers. One says 11 concurrent viewers and one says 7. Which is not helping because I'm trying to figure out, I put a poll in the community page on YouTube. So anyone in the channel right now, if you got a second, go to the ShoAndTech community page on YouTube. If you even know or knew that community pages existed, there's a poll there and it's asking, for future live streams, would you prefer it to be on a weekend during the afternoon or a weekday at night? I assume weekend afternoon would be like when most people are actually available, and we can get beyond 10 concurrent. Because last stream was unadvertised. I just did it randomly, pretty much. I gave 1 day's notice just by uploading a thumbnail on YouTube, and we got to 15 or 16 concurrent viewers. So this one, I gave more notice. I posted on Twitter. And I think the max that we've had today is 12 concurrent viewers. So just trying to see what's most available to everybody, what everyone's availability is. That was my thinking. Canada's on lockdown, so it's good for anybody. But apparently I was wrong, because I think, damn, these sweet tarts are making it hard to talk. You know that feeling you get when you eat sour stuff and then you got all the saliva in your mouth? I'm struggling right now. Sam says nighttime. I don't mind the night streams, to be honest, but the Saturday afternoon wasn't too bad either. I think we started at 4 p.m. on Saturday. I'm trying to focus. The candies just got me. And plus I do these with no script. I do everything off top. Most of my reviews I don't script anymore. I just hit record on the camera, start talking, and then hope that it works out. But yeah, if you got a second, jump on the community page, hit the poll quick. There's only 4 options. I think it says weekday night, weekday, it must say afternoon. Yeah, weekday night, weekday afternoon, weekend night, weekend afternoon. Click one, and then it'll help me in scheduling future streams. Only land sharks want to listen to you at night. Well, not nighttime, evening. Let's call it evening then. Sam says evening. Jamie Hoffa, I got you. Thanks. Another thing is this new iPad going to be able to run design software? I'm starting a landscaping company and I need to get a design program. A couple of them run on Mac. So that's where people are still debating right now, is there's a strong belief that in the very near future at WWDC this year, they're going to be announcing that a lot of their Mac OS compatible apps are going to be now compatible on the iPad, because the Macs and the iPads are running the same, are using the same chip. So in previous years, there was that discrepancy between the Mac OS using all Intel chips and the iPads using Apple's proprietary Bionic chips, right? And so now they've consolidated that and everything is using the M1. So the consensus is that if everything is on M1, and we've already seen how well M1 is able to run macOS and all of the apps that people love to use on their Macs, then why shouldn't it work on the iPad? So for me, I'm wishing and hoping and praying that I can start running Final Cut Pro on this like by June. WWDC is in June, right? I think it's June. So they announce it and then it should be ready by like beginning of July. If this thing starts running Final Cut, it's game over. I'm selling my Mac. Well, I won't, because Courtney uses it a lot. But you know what I mean. So do you mean like design software as in AutoCAD? Like CAD software? Do you like unlock? I only buy unlocked phones now. I don't like leasing phones from phone companies anymore. I know it doesn't make sense. A lot of people say like it doesn't really matter because it's not like it's not like buying a car, right? It's just a phone. So if you get it from the company, you're gonna get it cheaper from the very beginning, and you don't have to worry about putting anything down, any money down, etc. But my latest experience with leasing a phone was terrible because I didn't realize they changed it around. So in Canada, at least, in the States, you guys get way better phone plans. Like all of your prices are way better. So this is just a Canadian perspective. So we have a company here called TELUS, and I got my Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Man, all these names suck in the last 2 years. But anyways, I got my Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus from TELUS, and I did not the unlock, but the carrier plan. So they ask you to put usually $0 down, and then you pay obviously X amount of dollars per month for 2 years, and then the phone is apparently yours. Now, what I didn't realize is they have recently changed it to apparently make it more competitive and more fair for the consumer, where it's now completely like buying a car. So you put 0 down, but if you put 0 down, that automatically signs you up for the phone bring back, they call it, which also drops your monthly cost by like $10 or something. So what that means is at the end of your 2 years, you have to go back to TELUS and give them the phone. So you don't even own it. It's theirs still, which pissed me off because it's like, bro, what do you mean? It's your phone. It's not, it's mine. And because I ended up selling the Note 10 Plus, when I went and bought my mini, because I was like, at this point I had so many Android phones. I had 2 TCLs. I had a TCL 10L, a TCL 10 Pro. I had the Note 10 Plus, and then an iPhone 12 mini and a work phone. So I was like, I don't need all these damn phones. So I'm going to sell the Galaxy. And then I got a better deal from the other phone company, Rogers. Long story short, I switch over to Rogers and I'm like, well, I don't need this phone anymore, the Note 10. I sell it. I tell TELUS, like, look, I'm canceling. You know, you guys told me that there's no cancellation fee, whatever. They're like, you owe us $380 because you didn't bring the phone back. It's like, yo, what? What do you mean I owe you money? How do I owe you money? It's my phone. Well, you put 0 down, which means you opted in for the phone bring back, which means at the end of your 2 years, you have to bring the phone back to us in order to cancel out that fee, because the expectation is that you bring the phone back and then we give you a brand newer model like the S20, and then we do another 2 years and you bring it back after that. I was like, dude, this is stupid. So from that point on, I just started buying phones outright on my own. That way I can sell it whenever I want to. If a phone company upsets me and their prices suck, I can move to the next one and no one can tell me anything. Sorry for the long-winded story again, but that's in Canada. The whole phone carrier structure is apparently not as good as in the US, because we have like 3 companies, and then those 3 companies have companies that fall under them that make it seem like there's competition. So like, was it TELUS has Kudo or whatever, and Rogers has Fido, and then Bell has whatever. So it's fake competition, essentially, is what it is, and they can just do whatever the hell they want. It's Canada's not good, or maybe it's just Ontario is not good when it comes to phones and phone services. So, and then on top of that, our bills. So after everything that I just told you, my bill was like $79 a month, and that gave me unlimited calling but 10 gigs of data for the month. And I know that when I went to the States and I bought a SIM and a phone plan, it was like a fraction of that cost for 2 or 3 times the amount of data. Like, it's just ridiculous out here. Sorry, going back to some of the comments I've been missing. JG, I've been living cheap cheap as F when it comes to phone plans here right now. I end up buying off eBay and then getting a loyalty plan to reduce my rate. Yo, get it how you live. I don't see anything wrong with that, man. More money in your pocket makes sense to me. VG time. Yo, what's going on, VG? I think that's your first time that I've seen you in the channel, so appreciate you coming out. The issue isn't if the iPad Pro can run it, but rather, hold up. Or maybe, was it VG? No, it wasn't VG. The issue isn't if the iPad Pro can run it, but rather if they can make it touch optimized and work well with the Apple Pencil. True. True, but I think that the Apple Pencil will be more than enough in order to efficiently run any of those apps. And in addition to that, I'm someone that uses my Logitech MX Master. Like I said, the names of all these devices that are coming out recently, it's just a mouthful for anybody. So the Logitech MX, is it Master 2 or Master 3? I can't even remember anymore. Or 4, like whatever. My Logitech mouse works wirelessly perfectly with my iPad. So already you have that capability to use peripherals on the iPad Pro. So I feel like no matter what route they go, you can use your fingers, you can use the pencil, or if you have peripherals already that are wireless, you can use those and you'd be more than fine. Yeah, again, it's super trash, man. No, that was my plan. My plan now is $59 a month. Yeah, $59 a month for 15 gigs of data. Everything else is unlimited. But at the end of the day, if you brought that plan down to someone in the States, they would laugh at you and be like, what are you paying for? Like that plan, that same plan, 15 gigs of data, whatever. How much is that in the States, guys? Like $30, 25 a month. Why do people expect the iPad Pro M1 to perform like the MacBook? They're 2 different OS devices. I don't know that it's like that you expect it to perform like the MacBook. I think it performs better than the MacBook personally. I'm with Rogers. My phone's with Rogers now. I switched over. Yo, are there unlimited data plans in the States? Because our plans are unlimited too, but what happens is the second you hit 15 gigs, if that's your plan, they still sell those cheesy 2 gig plans, but the second you hit 15 gigs, and this just happened to me, they throttle your speed. And it's like, they throttle your speed so bad that you can't even load an IG timeline. Your IG timeline takes about 60 to 70 seconds to load. And then if someone, let's say you want to watch a story or someone posts a video, good luck. It's gonna buffer the whole time. Like, they say that they throttle it, they might as well just turn your data off because you're not able to do anything at all. I couldn't even load Pokemon Go. Yeah, I still play Pokemon Go a little bit. I couldn't even load it. There's real and fake unlimited here. So I'm assuming the fake unlimited is like mine, where you get throttled as soon as you hit your cap. Yeah, unlimited but throttling to 512 kilobytes. Exactly. That's crazy, man. Maybe I should just get a American plan and then just use it up here. I wonder if that would save me money. What do you use your Apple Pencil for the most? Honestly, I essentially use it for everything. So I have a paper-like screen protector. Oh, shameless plug. She's not shameless. A plug because I have to. So Whitestone came out with their own paper-like screen protectors. Essentially, they sent me out 2. Supposed to drop a video on it. They wanted me to put it on this iPad, and I asked them if it was okay if I just wait till I get the new one and just make a 2021 12.9 inch iPad Pro video, and they're down with that. But yeah, because of the screen protector, I find I use my Apple Pencil for like everything. So the second I pick my iPad up, very rarely do I use my digits to do anything on it, other than like quickly punch in my password if the Face ID decides not to work for a split second. But whenever I'm editing stuff in Lightroom, it's always with the Apple Pencil. If I'm using Affinity Photo, if I'm using LumaFusion, because it's just so much more precise, I use that. Sometimes I even go so far as to be typing with it. So when I'm on Twitter and I make a quick tweet, like I'll sometimes use the pencil for that. I kind of just grab it all the time. I don't know. I don't have specific use cases for it. I kind of just use it for everything. Yeah, the Paperlike, I was really skeptical before I installed this one. This one isn't actually made by Paperlike. It's just Paperlike. Because it wasn't available in Canada. We can't get Paperlike up here apparently. I tried and I couldn't get it. So this is just some random other company, and I've had 0 issues with this protector. Sometimes I find I use the pencil more than my fingers because I don't like how rough it feels on my fingertips. So there's that. Like when I'm gaming and stuff on this, so when I'm playing like I play a lot of Teamfight Tactics, a lot of League of Legends on my iPad, and I'll always try to just use the pencil because I don't like the feel of the Paperlike screen protector. So there's that. It messes up my gaming. So I even use the pencil when I'm gaming. Like it's stupid, but I do it just because of that weird feeling. So a little bit of everything. But an actual shameless plug, I set up Patreon, so that the channel has a Patreon. Don't go signing up for it yet, because I don't know, I haven't figured out any of the Patreon tiers and like all the cool stuff that will happen if you become a patron. So just letting you know that it's there. We're slowly working on it as the channel builds. Like I think I won't really put too much into the Patreon until we hit like 10K subs. So hopefully that happens at some point in 2021. I just figured out this super chat nonsense, so that's a thing that's now active. But again, don't go super chatting because I don't know if it's, 1, even set up correctly, and 2, I don't have anything special for that as well. But slowly working at building up the channel, building up all the extras that most other channels have to keep things, I guess, in line with how YouTube is supposed to be, or how YouTube is used these days. So just try not to fall behind. I traded in my 2020 iPad Pro. Really? They only give you half price? Man. I was gonna ask what the trade-in value was. So they give you half price, eh? So if I'm not mistaken, it was $10.99 for the 2021 iPad Pro in the States. Is it $10.99? I think it was $10.99 for the 12.9. So they gave you half of that, eh? And isn't the price the same this year as it was last year? So last year's was also $10.99. That's why I just, not saying that you made the wrong decision, but me personally, I usually try to sell it on my own, because the buyback that they give you is just terrible. Like, I think I was trying to order the Samsung Galaxy S20 when they first dropped, and I was trying to trade in my Note 10 Plus, and Samsung was trying to give me $200 for my Note 10 Plus. Like, yo, where? How do you even come up with that number? $200 for your phone that is listed for like $1,400. How do you come up with that figure? I don't understand. So then I ended up selling it on my own, and then ended up owing TELUS $300 for selling their phone. That wasn't mine, even though it's in my possession for 2 years, but that's neither here nor there. $580 for trade-in. You could have sold that for at least $750, no? That's the thing. Damn, the sour candy is not making my ear feel weird. That's the thing, Galen, is I had seen, who was it? I think it was like English Dan or Tech Rants or somebody. One of those guys, I saw them post what Samsung was giving them for their trade-in value. And I was like, damn, I'm going to do that. And then I jumped on the Canadian version. I was like, damn, I'm just going to keep my phone in my pocket because this trade-in is ridiculous. So, yeah, I guess the theme of the night is Canada just gets the crappy end of the stick on everything. It was Dan, eh? Yeah. Yeah, Canada just gets screwed on everything. My brother just messaged me saying Elon Musk is going to be on Saturday Night Live this weekend. So anybody that is planning on buying some Dogecoin, or owns Dogecoin, or maybe if you don't own Dogecoin yet, you might want to get it before this Saturday, because he's definitely going to say some troll stuff about it. And the price is going to skyrocket. All right, Steven, take it easy. Remember what I said about Dogecoin. Elon Musk is on Saturday Night Live, so the price is going to skyrocket. I don't even know what it's at these days. Again, another issue of being in Canada is it was flipping impossible to buy any. Like, I don't even know how anyone has been able to pick up any Dogecoin. But I remember seeing it at less than a penny and wanting to buy it just for jokes. Like, oh, let me just buy 1,000 shares just because it'd be funny. And if only I was actually able to have done that. Oh, man. What Android devices are you looking forward to? So, anything Samsung, like, not even looking forward to, I'm looking back to. I really want the price of the folds to come down. I've been wanting to try out a fold forever, but I can never, there's no way that I could justify paying $2,000. I think that's American too, $2,500 or something like that. I could never pay it just to try that phone out. Like that to me, the foldables, the two Samsung foldables have been the Android devices that I've wanted to try more than anything, any other piece of tech. But getting your hands on it up here is just way too costly. And I think it would still be the ultimate flex because I've not seen a single one in person. That's the other thing. In the States, it's probably way more common. Up here, if I were to bust out the fold, it'd be game over. I'd win. Used fold for 1.3. 1,300, that's it, eh? I don't know. Maybe I'd have to check. I assume in Toronto, if I go on like a Toronto marketplace, or like selling board like Kijiji or something, you could probably find a bunch. But even then, people usually charge like some ridiculous prices just because they know how rare it is to get devices like that up here. So I feel like those guys that try to sell it never end up selling it, because it's almost as if they just put it up there to flex, to say like, look, I got a Z Fold. So if you want to buy it for 2Gs, you can. Otherwise, just look at it. Look at my sale page, and they never actually sell it. It just sits up there. So yeah, I don't. There's not really much in terms of, to be honest, in terms of phones that I'm even looking forward to. I would like to see TCL's new phones, like to get my hands on those. I'm more interested in the budget phones these days, or quote unquote budget phones. Just any company that's not Apple or Samsung or OnePlus. I did order a OnePlus 9 Pro, the Hasselblad, and then I was like, I canceled it because it just didn't seem, I didn't think I would use it. I've never owned a OnePlus phone. Oxygen OS looks really clean. My brother has had OnePlus in the past. Looks really clean. The high refresh rate was also a big selling feature for me. But when I looked at the price and what you were getting with the 9 Pro, I ended up canceling it. I ordered it and canceled it 3 separate times because I just couldn't see myself getting rid of my Mini to switch over to the OnePlus. Like, it just didn't have enough features that were gonna pull me over. The Hasselblad thing I already knew was a gimmick, so I didn't really care about that. My channel is nowhere near foldable phones are corny. Nah, man. I mean, kind of. Kind of, but it'd still be dope to try it out for a month or whatever. But yeah, my channel's nowhere near the point of being able to walk around with 2 phones. It's nowhere near the point of being able to afford 2 phones, let alone afford a single phone. So that's another thing that kind of holds you back, is I watch too many tech YouTubers that have, I don't want to say unlimited income, but like they have all these companies that are willing to send them the phone for review. And even if they have to send it back at the end of the week or at the end of the 2 weeks or whatever, like, you're still getting your hands on it, right? And then some of them are to the point where they get the trial phone and still order their own personal one and are able to keep the personal one and the one that they actually use on a daily basis. So coming in as a new guy with a small channel, it's hard to justify buying anything that I'm not actually going to use. So someone tried to call me out on Twitter a couple months ago, actually, basically saying that, you know, I buy everything and send it back, like one of those. And it's like, what are you talking about? Everything that I buy and review on my channel, I use. That's why I buy it and I keep it. Like, basically, I think it was when I bought these to say like, oh, you're just gonna send them back or whatever. And it's like, no, I'm buying these because I want them and I plan to use them. I use them a lot. Were they expensive? Yes, but you know, I save up and I buy what I want to buy, and then I make the review and then I keep it. So I don't know. I don't even know how I got to that tangent. I've been playing with a lot of budget phones recently. I always keep 2 phones because I don't want to invest in a camera yet. Not enough knowledge on it. Investing in camera is a game changer for your channel. Honestly, game changer. Having 2 phones though, like you said, and not having a camera, also game changer. When I first started my channel and I only had I was recording everything on my Note 10 Plus, and my second camera, because I did a lot of phone videos where you needed to be able to see the screen as well. My second camera was my original iPhone SE that I bought on Kijiji for $80, and the battery lasts like 30 minutes. So it was very, very nice having technically two phones at that point for content creation and being able to have. I've never tried the 2 camera angle thing. I want to try that eventually, but upgrading to a camera was really nice. It has a lot of upsides to it, but also a lot of downsides that kind of make the creation process just a little bit longer than when you just do it on a phone. So I often miss the days of just recording on my phone, to be honest. It looks just as good if you're not doing anything crazy. But it's all what you're into. The best landscape design software programs only run on PC, and I just don't know too much about what route to go when buying a PC laptop that will run this program that does a lot of rendering. Okay, so you absolutely don't want a desktop, Jimmy? Would you have any suggestions on a couple laptops that would run this software smoothly? Honestly, if you're running just AutoCAD, really any gaming laptop would be fine. CAD programs, CAD software just requires a lot of memory, so you just have to go 16 gigs of RAM, like minimum. But I mean, my dad is a land surveyor and he runs a lot of AutoCAD on his work laptop, which isn't a gaming laptop. And yeah, the most important thing for him was just having enough RAM on the machine. So there's definitely cheaper ways to get around being able to efficiently use the software on your PC or on your laptop, excuse me, if you really, really don't want a PC. Is it Simon? Simon. Just came in just to say that your channel is great. It's hard to break through on tech genre on YouTube, but your vids are all high quality and you are likable. AF, because I don't like cussing on my channel. Kid friendly. Keep up the good work, broski. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that, honestly. I wonder if, because I respond to every comment and I usually say like, thank you for the support. And I give like I guess apparently it's a high five. I thought it was prayer hands. I respond to every comment and I usually say that. I wonder if people think that I just like copy and paste it. I don't. I take the time to write it out every single time because I do appreciate it. Without viewers, YouTube is nothing, right? So I appreciate it, man. And it definitely is hard to break through in the tech space. I say it all the time, but I really didn't expect much from my channel. I personally thought that at this point, so this is now a year and 5 months, I thought I would have like 500 subs. Like that was my goal, was to hit 500 and I was gonna feel super accomplished. This is actually my second YouTube channel. My other YouTube channel was one I used to play lots of board games. I played competitive card games and I think that one had like 2.5K subs. And I thought there was no way that I would ever get close to that making tech content. And here I am having surpassed it. I think, is it 2.5K or 3.5? Whatever it was. And like my most popular video on that channel was like 7,000 views. And I thought that was insurmountable. So when I came and made this channel, having no background, just like a random person on the internet, at least with the card games and stuff, I would meet people in person and be able to show them my personality that way, so that I knew, you know, if I make a video, then yeah, those 6 guys that I just met are probably gonna watch it. Or like, I just had a really good match against this lady and she asked me about my channel, so she's definitely gonna watch it. Whereas when I came and started doing the tech stuff, you start from zero, right? And you don't have that connection to reach out to people and be like, hey, look, here's my tech content, like you should watch it or subscribe. You could technically tell family and friends and whatnot, but if they're not into it, you can't force them to be. So when I started my channel, I didn't even tell anybody. The only person that knew was my wife, and I don't even think she subscribed to me. I don't even think she was my first subscriber, to be honest. So yeah, it was interesting. I really didn't expect anything to come of it. So it's been an interesting journey. I bought a Dell XPS 17 for $2,000 and it only has 8 gigs of RAM and GTX 1650 graphics card. When did you buy that? Sorry. Time is it? 8:20. We got a good 10 minutes or so. Yeah, man, YouTube's been fun. It's definitely, for anyone out there that is starting a new channel, especially in the tech realm, my only advice is just don't pigeonhole yourself. Don't get yourself stuck doing only one type of thing. Make all the videos, especially now. I don't even think I've hit 100 videos yet, so like maybe you don't want to hear my maybe my advice doesn't mean anything, but make the videos that you want to make. Don't make videos hoping that, how do I word this? Don't make the video that you think people want to see. And I learned that a lot from streaming on Twitch, because even my Twitch channel was pretty decent. I think that had 3,000, no, more than that. I want to say 6,000 what is it, followers on Twitch? Is it followers on Twitch? Whatever it is. But I found that whenever I would play a game because I thought it was a popular game that people wanted to watch, if you're not into it, people are gonna be able to pick up on it. They might not be able to readily say that this is why this content isn't interesting, but I have a strong belief that somewhere subconsciously they know that this person isn't being genuine, so I don't want to watch this. Like, it's not interesting. And I found that when I was making tech videos about stuff that I didn't actually care about, so when I would just make a video, it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna make this video just because it's a video. Those are usually the ones that didn't perform well. So when I used to just say yes to every company that reached out to me and like, hey, do you want to review this microphone for us? And I was like, hell yeah, send it, because it was free. But I didn't actually care about the microphone, and I didn't actually want to do microphone reviews. Then the video ends up being terrible, right? The energy is just not there. So just make the videos that you want to make about the tech that you actually like and the tech that you would actually use. And you're gonna find that the vetting process is more fun, the testing process is more fun, and the entire filmmaking process is more fun. The part where like you put your heart and soul into a video and it crashes and burns probably is not so fun. That happens to me a lot, but it's all just a learning process. So don't sell yourself short, that's all. I was wondering what brand laptop you would definitely recommend and is going to last. I haven't had a laptop in 10 years. I really appreciate you answering all my questions. Yeah, no worries. I would suggest a Dell. So Trent was talking about the Dell XPSs. Those have a very good reputation of being very powerful, very snappy laptops, and also cost effective. So that would be my personal choice, is an XPS laptop. Especially for what you're trying to do. So running CAD programs, you really want to stay away from like the low end, cheaper, like ThinkPads, like a Lenovo. But I guess at the end of the day, if you're spending the right amount of money, it shouldn't matter. But I would personally go Dell. If I had to choose, I would go Dell. Dell XPS. Stay away from Lenovo's. I've had 2 Lenovo's in the past and they were both trash. Lenovo Yogas. Was not a fan. So I would stay away from that. And I would make sure that you get at least, honestly, for you using a CAD program, 16 gigs probably isn't even enough, to be honest. I would up that. But it all depends what your price range is, right? It's hard to say without knowing how much money you're willing to drop on it. but for you, memory is going to be the biggest thing. So going crazy on the amount of RAM that you have is going to be very important for you. Let me move that a little bit. Where's somewhere visible? There we go. But yeah, man, this YouTube thing, I don't know. I don't know. I hope that if there's anyone that gets to this point watching the stream on a VOD who is thinking about starting a channel or has just started a channel, don't be like me. I spent way too much time watching videos about starting channels and watching videos about what to do before you start a channel, what to do when you start the channel, what to do before you start your first video, what to do after your first video, what to do for your first 10 videos. Like you end up watching all this content versus just starting. And I know that everyone ends up saying, like, you watch all of those videos and all that they say, they talk for 10 minutes and say, but at the end of the day, just start. Just start. And that's honestly the most important part. I second guess myself way too much prior to starting my channel and looked to all these videos for validation. And then thought about, I think I talked about it last stream, how when I would tell people about, I think it'd be really cool to start a tech channel, and they would be like, yo, MKBHD exists, right? Like, that he already has millions and millions of followers. Like, chances are people are gonna watch that instead of watching your video. So it's very easy to think that way and take yourself out of the fight before the fight even starts. So just don't be that guy. Don't be me. I've watched enough how to start a YouTube channel videos for 10 people's different lifetimes. So don't worry about it. Just start the video, hit record, and start talking. It doesn't matter price wise. Then in that case, go with a fully maxed out Dell XPS. Get like 32 gigs of RAM. You don't need to go too crazy on everything else. CAD programs just take lots and lots of memory. So if you get a Dell XPS, it's gonna have more than enough in it with like the base model, the 8 gig or 16 gig model. Just upgrade the RAM on it and then you're good to go. It's gonna cost you like $2,800 perhaps, but if it saves you time and frustration and stops you from punching your screen because your program's running too slow, then it's worth it. And it's going to last you for years. The consistency thing is also very important. Yes. That's been my issue, is I want to drop like 2 videos a week, right? I want to have eight a month. My goal this year was it 100 videos or 50? I can't remember. 50 or 100. I think it was 100, but I already know that's live streams will help me get there because you don't have to plan as much and you can kind of just, like what we're doing right now is just talking, which I really like because of my Twitch background. And my previous YouTube channel, was a very social one. So I like getting to know everybody and just being able to wing it. So I think live streams will be able to help me get those extra videos in. But yeah, the consistency piece is huge. It's just not always easy because life is always moving and everyone's got YouTube as a hobby, and then you've got your actual job, which competes. So, and it takes a very long time apparently to get yourself to a point where YouTube can support you and you can get rid of that full-time job. Marks, What's up, man? Welcome back. Marex. Sorry, got it right. What's going on, buddy? Your goal was 100 as well. It's tough managing time. Oh, man. Yeah. Like, I find with me, I'm usually pretty good if work and stuff just goes, smooth. But then also with the tech piece, because you're usually reviewing tech, right? It makes it that much more difficult versus if I was just like a blogger or a vlogger or lifestyle or whatever, and you can just make content and just pull it out of your armpit. I feel like that makes it easier. But when you're doing tech stuff, you need tech, right? So that was a limitation for me at first, was just getting my hands on stuff. But then you get to this point where like you don't only want to do reviews. Like I don't only want to do reviews anymore. I want to be able to actually have discussions. So the first time that came to the forefront of my mind, being like, I'm tired of doing reviews, was when I did that video essay on why you don't need active noise canceling. And that I drew inspiration from Marquez, because I really like when he does those types of videos where he's just giving his insights and talking about, it's essentially just a video essay, right? I find that stuff to be very, very interesting. So now I'm at a point where I'm just trying to kind of diversify my content, but it's a scary thing because like so for me, I started off doing a lot of headphones, true wireless earbuds, and it's like, so the majority of my subscribers are here for audio content, or at least that's what you think. So then the second you drop a video about an iPad, you're there like, oh man, is everyone gonna unfollow now? Like, did I mess the channel up? And then you do a video about a phone, which is still not about true wireless earbuds. So I don't know, it's just weird. Like, I just don't. That's my biggest fear of the channel, is that I'm constantly trying not to just get stuck in one area, because I've seen way too many YouTubers that do that and then they're like miserable. Like, they start off their channel with one thing in mind, and then they start doing camera reviews, for example, and the camera reviews take off, right? And then they're like, damn, I guess I gotta do more cameras. And they just do cameras, and they flipping hate cameras, but they're gonna do them just because that's what gets the views. And then eventually they're like, now they're 100K subscribers in, who are all there for camera stuff, and they go, look guys, to be honest, I don't like cameras. I want to branch out and do videos about phones. And they start doing phones, and everyone just falls off, right? I don't want to ever get to that stage, as an example. I hear you, Jimmy. I hear you. I hope I don't ever become that. I don't think I will. I don't think I ever could, but I know what you mean. And it sucks because like guys like me, OnePlus would never send me a phone to review. Google Pixel will never send me a phone to review because I don't have enough sway, right? So it's an interesting game, but I like to play it. Now you're expanding your audience to a wider spectrum when you make more diverse content. I agree, but again, I guess it falls into watching too many videos about how to be successful on YouTube, and everyone says you need to niche down. You need to be very specific about what your focus is on YouTube and only talk about that one thing, which I don't know if it's right or wrong because my channel's still so small, you know? It's interesting. I think about it a lot. It's a very interesting thing. But recently, where a lot of my efforts have been going into is creating better thumbnails and creating better titles, because I think that is what's important. Like when I look at my analytics, my impressions, so the amount of times that my content shows up on people's timelines when they're scrolling through YouTube or whatever, or gets suggested, are pretty good. It's my click-through rate that's not so good. So I assume that maybe my thumbnails don't look good enough to draw people's attention to actually click and want to watch the video. Like that's the biggest YouTube battle, unfortunately, is just making a cover that people can judge your book by and click on you. But anyways, nothing about iPads at all. All right, man. So I think we're gonna wrap it up. I'm happy with how this one went too, considering I didn't really plan it out. Maybe you can tell I didn't really plan it out too much, but it worked out. You know, we got to discuss the iPad. There was a lot of iPad questions, which I really appreciate. You know, live streams are nothing without obviously people in the stream being able to ask questions and whatnot and make it dynamic. So I really enjoy it. Yo, Cody, holy smokes. I didn't even know that you were subscribed to my channel. My guy. It's good to see you, even though I'm about to leave, but I'm happy that you tuned in for a quick second. Totally appreciate it. That's awesome, man. But yeah, like I was saying, we did get to talk about the iPad real quick and the paywall. But like I said, for me, it's not really an issue because I want the 12.9 inch iPad versus the 11. I want to see what the screen's about. I got really lucky when I ordered mine, so mine's going to come in on May 25th or 26th. And then I'll be able to drop some content on that. I'm sure Marquez and all those guys will be able to drop everything like May 14th, like next week, but that's okay. I'll give you my honest opinions on everything. And then hopefully the mini LED XDR display is actually noticeably different than the 2020 version, but we'll see about that as well. I think that a part of the people watching these videos watch them for informative purposes. Others just watch for the sake of entertainment and like for this sort of tech discussions. Anyways, peace. Oh, you're taking off? All right, man. Appreciate you. See you at the next one. I don't know when it is yet, but it'll pop up. I'll schedule it and hopefully you guys see it. But yeah, hopefully I get this iPhone 12 Pro sold, or maybe I'll just sell the mini and keep the Pro and wait till the 13s drop. I don't know. Either way though, shout out to everyone that was able to make it out. Galen, I'm glad that you were able to make it to this one. John Williamson, glad that you were able to make it out. Cody, waking up from night shifts and still able to make it out, even though you made it at the end. Totally appreciate it, man. Shout out to anyone that was able to take the time. Trent, if you're still in here. Blaze 760. I'm missing someone important. Jimmy Hoffa, that's it. Jimmy, hope you figure out your laptop. VG time. Sam, Steven, I know they're off watching The Bachelor or something. Wait, what did they go watch? Was it The Bachelor or Amazing Race? I don't even remember. One of those reality TV shows. And anybody else that I might have missed, I think I got everybody. Recommend the iPhone Pro, but what about the iPhone Pro Max? Because if I buy the new iPad and the phone, I get $200 off. I wouldn't do the Pro Max, it's too big, but that's just me. I don't like huge, like the Pro Max is like as big as this, okay? This is the Pro, and this is the Pro Max. Putting this in your pocket just looks silly, in my opinion. But that, again, that's just me. The Mini is the perfect size. Look how small that is. The Mini is the perfect size. But the battery life on it is where the problem is. So again, it comes down to your personal preference. Jimmy, $200 off though might make it worth it for some people, but I don't know. Let me know what you decide though. Do I have any videos coming down the pipe this week? I don't know. I gotta get those Android box videos going. So you might see an Android box video drop on Thursday or Friday for the Buzz TV. Which one is it? The Buzz TV XRS 4900. So that's what I'm currently working on. I just don't know when it's actually going to be done. But if that's something that you're looking forward to, keep an eye out, because it'll definitely be posted on Twitter and also on IG. If you haven't followed, it's this way. If you haven't followed either of these accounts, it's hard to do. Oh, there we go. If you haven't followed either of these accounts, I suggest that you do, because we need to get some conversion over there. So on IG, ShoAndTech, Twitter at ShoAndTech. Don't forget the community poll, the poll on the community page rather of YouTube, just to help me out in scheduling these live streams. But again, we've got back-to-back double-digit concurrent viewer streams, so I feel like whether it's a weekday or a weekend, it should be okay going forward. But anyways, that's been it. Much love as always, throwing up 2 of them, and I'll catch you guys in the next stream or video. Have a fantastic Monday night and a very safe week. Peace.